Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up, guys? Quick halftime live stream. There's actually a fair amount of good bets out there, so figured we could just hammer some slips together. Bo Nix over 2.5 passing TDs. That was not a sweat at all. So obviously the Colorado game, a little disappointing. I know some people were hoping for a more exciting game, but regardless, there's some good bets out there. So why don't we just take a look through the market? We can look at this little fantasy optimizer thing. Again, all the fantasy optimizer is going to do is point out value on the sportsbooks you have access to. Same with the positive EV tool. So you can see this play on Cade McNamara. We just hit him under 155.5 on ParlayPlay. They've already brought his line down to, where is him? McNamara. Where is he? Under 155 passing yards. They've already brought him crashing down, to 147.50. So long story short, these lines can move quickly. But anyways, let's take a look at Hartman, right? So if we go to, passing attempts for college football, we can take a look. We can take a look what they got going on here. So you can see not a ton of books post this market, but Underdog Fantasy is, they're 2 attempts higher than FanDuel. They're 2 attempts higher than JockMKT. Those are 2 data points we have in the market. So we want to take the under. And again, if you want to, one strategy that, I use all the time, especially when I have more sports books available. I currently don't have access to FanDuel, so I can't, bet on FanDuel. But one thing that you can do, right, and I'm not sure why my internet's working slow, but if you wanted to, you could go to, where is it? The Notre Dame-Ohio State game. So obviously we have a pretty big game here. I've been giving out a shit ton of bets for this game as well. So hopefully some of those go well. But if you go to passing attempts, you could hit the over 28.5 on FanDuel for Hartman, the under 30.5, Notre Dame's QB, on Underdog Fantasy. And then you have, a 2-attempt middle. If, Hartman has... if Hartman has 29 or 30, passing attempts, then we're going to win both bets. So that's a kind of random sweat, but it's something you could go with for this game. But long story short, I'm just going to take the under on Underdog Fantasy. It seems like they're the side off from the rest of the market. They're two points higher than the rest of the market. So let's take the under. There's a lot of soccer stuff. Damn, we finally got some League of Legends back. Let's go. First map player kills. Damn. So League of Legends, we have not seen League of Legends lines in a minute, but it looks like they're back. These guys have been on vacation. So let's take a look here. But it looks like it's only, prizepicks and Underdog Fantasy that are dropping these League of Legends lines. Vietnam, man, we got countries going head to head in League of Legends. So again, what we can try to do is we can try to exploit some correlation in League of Legends. So we have Vietnam versus, man, these guys go hard. This guy's a game at 12:10 a.m. and he has a game at 1:10 a.m. You thought football was a hard sport to play. This guy is doing all sorts of things. So he's playing Japan. Man, it's crazy. So what we can do is we can filter for League of Legends. Again, when you're betting on League of Legends, you want to take a guy to go over, ideally, and then a player on the opposite team to go under. So you want to take over on one book, under on another book. So you can see, damn, there's a lot of discrepancies. So ideally we could find something, a player on the opposing team, on Japan to go over, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Anyways, let's go back to college football for a second. What's up, guys? And let's take a look. Let's take a look here. Let me make sure my screen isn't paused as well. I know that's happened in the past. So let me just pull up the comment section quickly and let's try to lock in a bet on Underdog Fantasy. So first college football play, clear as day, Sam Hartman, under 30.5 attempts. That looks great. Anyways. So anyways, is my screen loading? So it does look like it's loading. Okay, perfect. So let's finish out this play. We still got a bit of time left in halftime. So we'll start with Underdog Fantasy. I do want to get to prize picks as well. I'm just not sure why my screen's going a little slow. So League of Legends, I mean, there's some plays, but I'm going to skip it over for now. You can see there's a lot of discrepancies. But again, like a lot of these discrepancies, when it's only one sports book, it's like Underdog Fantasy versus prize picks. It's not as clear, like, okay, like which book is screwing up. And I got to close some tabs. I'm not sure why my internet's going slow. So let's go here. Let's close Firefox. And then we really need to lock in a play, man. So anyways, let's go back here and let's quit these. And then we're good to go. Okay, perfect. So now it should be moving a little faster. So let's go here. And what else do we like? So, I mean, here's another one. I mean, this seems solid, I think. So you can see the same thing for Kyle McCord. There's a pretty big discrepancy. So I have way too many tabs open. So let's just close some of this shit. So anyways, right, I think this makes sense, although I'm not positive. So what we can do, like you can see here, if we go to McCord, it's like maybe you have a preference, Ohio State, right? Underdog has his line at 33.5. The other books have his line at, 34.5. So we're finding some discrepancies, some pretty good, big discrepancies in Ohio State versus Notre Dame. I'm not sure, though, like what the correlation is between taking, two players. So how big of a favorite is Ohio State? So Ohio State, they're not that big of a favorite, right? Only minus 164. I'm going to hit the gym during that game. Hopefully. Been trying to work out. So anyways, let's go back here to football. So what you can do essentially, holy shit, come on. So what we can do is we can essentially like go to FanDuel and we can kind of look at an NFL game where a player is, where teams, so like Patriots, right? They're, honestly, they're only minus 148 favorites against the Jets. That's kind of crazy. But if you go to a same game parlay, you can see here, it's like, okay, like, you can kind of check out like, okay, what's the correlation between taking these players together? Honestly, I won't take McCord. Fuck it. Let's just find another pick to go with. But if you want another pick or if we want to build another slip after, we could take McCord's over, which I think makes sense, right? Like one player's passing attempts under, one over. I mean, it seems like that would make sense. If Notre Dame is getting screwed and he has the ball less, then, McCord will be more likely to throw passes and go over. I mean, it makes sense intuitively, but anyways. Mahomes, I do like this play as well. I recommended it before, but again, I'm not going to be able to rebet it. I don't think so, at least. Underdog Fantasy, they only have like, they have pretty low betting limits for me at least, or maybe it's for everyone. I can only get down $100 max bet sizes. But if you take a look right here, right, you take a look at Mahomes, you go to passing props, you're going to see his attempts lines at 36.5. So there's pretty good value on Mahomes over 34.5. And again, that's all this fantasy optimizer is doing, just pointing out discrepancies in the market between these kind of, different sports books. You can kind of like take a look around, see what you like. What else do we want to go with? Josh Allen over 32.5, so anyways, damn. So this play I really liked, Brooks under 80.5 rushing yards. So you got to consider the juice too. So like if you take a look at Brooks, right, it's like FanDuel has his line. I mean, as you can kind of see right here, FanDuel has his line a lot lower at 74.5. So Caesars has his line at the same level. So you may be like, oh, that doesn't seem like that great of a bet. Caesars also has his line at, 80.5. But you're going to see they have extremely high juice towards the under. Like they have the under as a minus 157 favorite. Again, Underdog is one of those platforms where they don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So that's a good pick to go with on Underdog, right? You want to look for line discrepancies and discrepancies in where books are juicing it. Oh, baby. So here we go. I like this play a lot. So we got Javonte Williams over 11.5 rushing attempts. So here we have a 3-pick entry. It may not let me bet, so it's not going to let me bet the Mahomes play. I do like the Mahomes play. if you want to go with the Mahomes play, again, I like the Mahomes play. I'm just not going to be able to bet it. Same with a lot of these player props. I mean, there's some I'm skipping over. Like, I fucking love this play on Hawkinson under 5.5 receptions. But you'll notice these assholes, they only give you a $100 max bet size. Anyways, are we still in halftime? Or is everyone going to leave the live stream in like 5 minutes? But anyways, we can take a look here. And we can find, one more pick to go with. Calvin Austin, over 2.5 receptions. Did I already lock in this play? We'll see. So this is kind of the hard part of sports betting. It's really not finding the good plays. It's just kind of getting down the action. Once these books realize you know how to beat them, they hit you with the limits. It's just harder. Justin Jefferson, are they going to let me bet the under 7.5 receptions? Let's see. I'm already all over Justin Jefferson's under. But we can take a look here. Nope, I've already hit the limit on Justin Jefferson. So a bunch of good options. Again, you can pick whatever play you want to go with. If you don't like my picks, Tyreek Hill's over. What was this play? So, damn. Rushing yards. Receiving yards, Indiana. So we can take a look here at receiving yards. Let's just take a quick peek, and then let's lock in this slip. Just taking a bit to find some of these picks. Decent. Nothing to write home about. So what we can do is we can go back here, and again, just a lot of these picks we've already locked in. So you can kind of the market's always moving. We can filter out League of Legends for a second. Again, I'm sure there's some good League of Legends plays we can find. But QBs doesn't make sense to... Maybe we just take McCord over. Again, I'm just not positive about the correlation between taking, one player's under and then the opposing QB to go over. I'm just not sure. And I never want to recommend a bad pick. Here's another one I gave out on Underdog. I think it's really good. But again, I already hit my limit on it. Asia Wilson, right? You take a look here. You take a look at her line. You got to consider the juice too. So Underdog Fantasy, if you go through the math behind Underdog Fantasy, so this is the math behind PrizePicks. So if we go to the Underdog spreadsheet for these 3-pick entries, you just got to win 55% of your over-unders to be profitable. So like Asia Wilson, fuck. They moved the line on him anyways. So Asia Wilson, her line's at 23, right? FanDuel has her line at 21.5. But you got to consider the juice too. So first of all the books have her line lower. So definitely seems like the under is the side to go with on Underdog Fantasy. But then also all the books, right? Like Caesars, DraftKings, two $10 billion companies, really sophisticated models, they have her under heavily favored, like minus 130. Pretty sure it's Mahomes over. Yeah, Mahomes over in passing attempts. Looks like the good side to be on. Anyways, they just moved that line in my face. So anyways, if you want something to go with, I'm already on all these picks. Well, except for the Hartman play because I haven't been able to find a pair yet. But this seems really, really good, right? Asia Wilson under. Patrick Mahomes over. Again, Underdog Fantasy, they're giving you the 6x payout for these 3-pick entries. Whereas PrizePicks, for 3-pick entries. Anyways, let's go through PrizePicks. We'll go back to Underdog Fantasy, but Underdog Fantasy, I'm taking too long to find a pick. So let's go back to PrizePicks, and damn. So again, what's nice about PrizePicks is in esports, you can bet on players on the same team. Whereas you can't do that on Underdog Fantasy, so that's a big benefit, kind of PrizePicks versus Underdog Fantasy for esports betting is for League of Legends, you can't, at least, so you can see they're fucking bumping all my lines. But anyways, let's go back here. That's fine. Let's get rid of League of Legends for now. Again, it looks like only 2 sportsbooks have dropped lines. So there's some big discrepancies. I'm sure there's some good, bets and stuff like that. But who knows? Let's go back here. Okay. So there are some good plays out there. So again, a lot of kicking point discrepancies between PrizePicks and Underdog, but let's go here. Let's start here with Justin Fields. Justin Fields, really like this play, right? So you take a look here. PrizePicks has his line at 58.5 rushing yards. They're playing the Chiefs. Obviously the Chiefs are very big favorites, but if you take a look here, extremely low passing yards line. His rushing yards line's at 58.5. But you're going to see, right, what about the sports books, right? All the sports books have his line at 60.5 with the over as the favorite outcome. So if you go to the Bears game, right, again, like we tapped out a lot of the value on Underdog Fantasy, so we can take a quick look so we can take a quick look here. So nope, that's not the fucking game I want to go to. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the NFL, and we want to look at Bears Chiefs, right? So it's like, we want to look for value. PrizePicks is a fixed payout platform. They're not changing our payout based on us selecting over versus under. So you take a look here. Caesars, not only does PrizePicks have his line 2 yards lower than Caesars, but Caesars has the over heavily favored, right? They have the over at -154. So we're using all this market information to, process our bets. Anyways, Erica said slow down. I'm not trying to talk too quick. I'm just trying to, get in these bets before the line moves. So you can see here, hopefully this makes sense, right? We're getting 2 yards of value, right? PrizePicks has the line at 58.5. Caesars and the other sports books are like, no, the line should be at 60.5, and we have the over really heavily favored. So Caesars has Justin Fields as, you're not only getting value in the line, right? PrizePicks 2 yards lower than Caesars, but Caesars has the over super heavily favored. So that's exactly what we want. That's beautiful, right? And then we can check out Derek Carr. So Derek Carr's line has been moving lower, which is kind of interesting, but you can take a look here, and this is the same thing, right? So, you can kind of see this. Again, the Fantasy Optimizer's very simple tool. It's just going to point out value to you, discrepancies between sportsbooks, stuff like that. So if you take a look here, right, let's check out, Derek Carr. What the fuck? Whoops, I looked up the wrong game. So let's go to the Packers game. Oh, man, long day. So let's go to the Packers game. Packers Saints, right? So if you look here, you go to the passing yards section, you're going to notice Derek Carr, right? His line is at 233.5. So we're not only getting 2 yards of value once again on PrizePicks, but PrizePicks has the under super heavily favored. Again, on PrizePicks, if you break down the math behind PrizePicks, as I've done numerous times, you can look up. We have a bunch of videos about it. To be profitable on PrizePicks, all you got to do is win 54.25% of your player props, right? If you can win your over-unders, just like Carr over-under, 235.5, if you can win your prop bets above 54.25% of the time, you're going to make money. So anyways, we got 2 really good prop bets. But let's keep going, right? We want 5 on PrizePicks. Where else do we want to look? So Connor Phillips under 5 hits allowed. That play looks a little decent. Any college football though? Ooh, so here we go. We have Kendry Miller under 40.5 rushing yards. So this is in the same game, so you kind of need to consider the correlation again. So you can see, right, Caesars has his line lower, and they have the under super heavily favored. But I'm not sure about the correlation between taking a Saints running back and quarterback both to go under. So what you can kind of do is you can actually just go to FanDuel, and you can go to the Saints game, right? And you can play around with the correlation. So you can go to same game parlay, right? PrizePicks is a fixed payout platform, right? They don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So PrizePicks doesn't price in correlation naturally. So if we take Derek Carr's under, so you can see here, right? FanDuel has him at 230.5. We're getting value on PrizePicks. They have his line at 235.5. Value. How you win long term. So here, what we can do, and hopefully this makes sense. If not, you can always email me, is if we take his under versus over, so it looks like we don't want to take both unders, right? So if we take his under and then Kendry Miller's over, right, the payout goes down. So that's positively correlated, right? FanDuel's giving us a worse payout, better odds, right? or they're giving us worse odds, a worse payout if we take under over. So that means this is negatively correlated, right? So what we want to do is we want to get rid of that, which I guess makes sense. You don't want to take a QB's under and Desmond Ridder over 13.5 passing yards. That play seems solid. But I already have it on some other sports books. Tyreek Hill over 6.5 receptions. That play seems solid. Nick Folk, we already have this, but again, like, it's very simple, right? On PrizePicks, you win above 54.2% of your player props. You know, this is literally just the math behind PrizePicks. You win above 54.2% of your player props, you're going to be profitable, right? So why do we like this play on Nick Folk? Why is this a play? You know, if you wonder why do I like this pick, why is the pick good on PrizePicks? All you need to think to yourself is, why is this pick winning above 54.2% of the time? Because that's what makes it profitable on PrizePicks. And if you go to kicking, you'll see all the sports books have Nick Folk heavily favored to go under 1.5 field goals made. So that's the sharp pick on PrizePicks, right? So we can go with that. And again, I know I've already locked that in, so some people are probably already on it. But sorry. You know, you don't have to lock it in again if you don't want to. I'm sure we'll be able to find some other good picks, and I do want to complete that slip on Underdog Fantasy. So then we got our boy Justin Jefferson, under 7.5 receptions. I know, it's Justin Jefferson. I already bet him on ParlayPlay at a better price. Again, ParlayPlay has a little bit better payouts than PrizePicks. But you can see here, right, like, it's not that I hate Justin Jefferson. I'm always just following the data. I will never place a bet with my gut. I will never bet emotionally. I will never think about, you know, if I watched a game, nothing, because that's how you end up losing all your bets, right? You want to just follow the data. That's what's going to make you money. So we got Rachaad White, under 3.5 receptions. All the books have him heavily favored to go under. How do we feel about this for a third pick? Let's get our boy in the Bucks-Eagles game. So you can take him under 3.5 receptions. Damn. So here we got a banger, and you're probably like, okay, like, let's slam it for $500. And I would, but PrizePicks only giving me $25 after I took them last weekend for $5K on this slip. They ended up hitting me with the shittiest limits of all time, $25 max. We could add in a 6 pick if we want to. So like Rico Dowdle, I mean, this is the most random bet of all time, but his under 2.5 receiving yards seems a little good. Gabriel Arias over. Miles Sanders under 2.5 receptions. I mean, if you want to make it a 6 pick, there's some different options you can go with. But anyways, so we'll hit it for 25. What the fuck? Maximum daily amount is $10,000. $10,000, you're giving me $10 betting limits. You're not even letting me bet anything. So it's only going to let me place a $5 bet. So I literally hate PrizePicks for this. But here you can see that's what I'll, go with on PrizePicks. Anyways, I was trying to look at English Premier League where I can find sportsbooks that are posting player saves lines, but I couldn't find anything. Damn, it's already in quarter 3. 4th and 11 on the Colorado 38. So I know a lot of people are probably switching to watch the game, enjoy the game, but I do want to, ideally I want to try to finish out this Underdog Fantasy slip. So I'm going to go back here. And again, like, you may have already bet this, but I do want to see, okay, what options do I have to go with? So Bijan, I do like his under, right? I've already explained Bijan's heavily favored to not score a touchdown. Ooh, so what we can do as well is let's go to NFL player touchdowns, right? An Underdog Fantasy fixed payout platform. They're not changing our payout based on us selecting over versus under. So we just want to see, like, okay, like, what's the deal with Tyreek Hill? Is he more likely to score a touchdown or to not score a touchdown? And there's not a ton of juice on either side. So there's not a ton of value, right, on either side. Raheem is more likely to go under. You'd rather take Raheem over Tyreek Hill, which is interesting, but that's just what the data is saying. So we can look up, So Alexander Madison, no value, right? Like, maybe very slight juice. The sports books, you can see there's very slight juice towards him not scoring a touchdown, but not much. Justin Jefferson, I won't even be able to bet anyways because I've already hit my betting limit. So you can kind of go through, and these, touchdown bets are kind of, ooh, shit. So now we got to play. Look at Gibbs. Damn. I feel like this line moved, but you can see Gibbs, pretty heavily favored to not score a touchdown. I mean, this is a decent play. Fliff has this minus 155. Not saying it's anything to write home about, but, we also wouldn't want to take it with the Bijan play. So you'd probably rather pick just one of them. But that still seems like a pretty solid play to go with. Derrick Henry. Did I already bet this? I forget, but, I said this earlier, but Derrick Henry's heavily favored to not score a touchdown. Kind of surprising. But anyways, what are they not going to let me bet? I'm pretty sure they're not going to let me. So they're not going to let me bet either of these because I've already bet them. So that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Asia Wilson, I really do like that play, but it seems like not enough people are fading Asia Wilson. Josh Jacobs, Williams, Mixon. So anyways, let's just go back here. Let's take a look at some of these other plays. So again, in general, I do think Underdog Fantasy versus Prize Picks, it does seem like Prize Picks is the smarter side. We can also see, does Hot Streak have any League of Legends? So it's weird. The only two ones with these, League of Legends lines up are Prize Picks and Underdog Fantasy, which is just a little weird. Jacoby Myers. So we can take a look here. What's the deal? Right? We can go to NFL receptions. So again, all this fantasy optimizer is doing is pointing out these discrepancies in the market. But I still kind of like to check out this sportsbook screen just to be just to see the entire market. Again, you can kind of just follow this tool and go down the list. It's showing you discrepancies. You'll make money, but I kind of like to, ideally, maybe we can zone in and find some even better plays to go with. So this play seems decent, right? Underdog has his line at 4. The sportsbooks have his line at 4.5. But the sportsbooks do have the under, as a minus 130 favorite. So what else do we like? So Kyle McLeod, meh. Again, I'm just not sure about the correlation between taking your QB. Man, there are a ton of esports line discrepancies right now. A lot of kill lines, a lot of shit we've already bet too. So Desmond Ridder, over 14 rushing yards. It seems decent. Right? So it's same logic here, right? Data-oriented sports betting. We can also check out Fliff. Fliff is a sports book I haven't really looked at much today, which I should probably do. I always want to take a look at any book where I can, find an edge. So if we go to the Falcons game, again, Fliff works differently. These fixed payout websites are a little unique. No, I don't want the Air Force Falcons. Come on. So if we go over to the NFL, let's just figure out the Falcons game. Caesars adds in so much shit, it makes it hard to, find even what you want to bet on. But if we go to rushing yards, right, it's Underdog Fantasy has Desmond's line at 14 rushing yards. Caesars has his line at 15.5 with the over super heavily favored, minus 151. So again, on Caesars, all you got to do to be profitable is win 55% of your bets. So that's not the Caesars spreadsheet. That was the Prize Picks spreadsheet. And you can see I've gone through the math behind Underdog Fantasy for 3-pick entries, 4-pick entries, all that stuff. And again, their 3-pick entries are pretty good. So I'm trying to think. What we can do too is we can see what happens. I'm just trying to figure out the correlation. So if you go to for example, pass attempts, what if we do this? Would they let us just bet over or unders if there's no payout shift? So there's no payout shift. So most likely that means, no correlation. But what if we took all unders? Then is there a payout shift? No payout shift. So kind of weird. Seems like there's just no correlation in general between passing attempts for players on the same team or on opposing teams, or at least not much. So we can kind of, anyways, maybe you have your own opinions on just like, that game as well. So Jonathan Brooks, I mean, just so many of these fucking plays I've already bet. Only $100 max bet sizes, so that's just kind of how it is. Tyreek Hill over 6.5 receptions. I mean, again, especially with the Waddle news, that's what's caused a lot of the line movements. It doesn't look like Waddle's going to play. But anyways, this play seems solid, right? So Sam Hartman, we found value. Again, I'm never placing a bet with my gut. I feel like I have to say it every time. Like, people will be like, oh, why not this? It's like people who watch sports don't make money sports betting. You got to remember that 99% of sports bettors watch sports. Everyone watches sports. It has no correlation to making money sports betting. I use Instagram. I use Facebook. Can't tell you what's going to happen to, the stock price. So honestly, I do kind of just feel like, in this OSU game, it just, it does feel like if there's value, I really want to hit it. It does feel like if there's value on, let's go to the game, right? It just feels like this makes sense to take, where is, so if we go back here, we're the OSU players. So we want to go to passing attempts. And then let's go. So we want McCord over 33.5. I mean, it just kind of feels like this makes sense. We already have Hills over on a bunch of different sports books too. You can kind of pick what you want to go with. But anyways, maybe we get rid of Hill. And I mean, this just kind of makes sense. If OSU has the ball more, he's probably going to be throwing more. Granted, if it's a blowout, you'll probably have one QB passing a lot. I think it makes sense. But anyways, I'm just going to lock it in. So here we go. And again, the Desmond play looks pretty solid. So we have 2 plays for the college football game. Can you link the math you did? Yeah, I can link the math I did. So this is for Underdog. There's also one for prize picks, and we have some videos about it. I can't use most books right now. You think you can run through what filters? Yeah, so on the EV tool, typically the only filter I use is max odds, and I typically set it around 200 or whatnot. So the way this positive EV tool works is it's just going to show you value, and you can actually see there's some fucking good bets popping up. Let's go. All this tool is going to do is it weights every single sports book. So you can see there's 209 sports books on OddsJam. There's probably more out there. So granted, I don't have access to PointsBet, You may have access to some of these books, but depending on what books you use, you'll see different bets and stuff. There's actually some good bets on Hot Streak. So Hot Streak is a sports book. It's available in most places. Damn, so there's actually a lot of fucking bets. So you're going to see they have Logan Gilbert under 15.5 outs at plus 121 odds. So the reason OddsJam is recommending this is every other book has this minus 115. So we can go here to Logan Gilbert. And we want to take him under 15.5 outs at plus 121, but you need a pair, right? So the way all these parlay-only sports books work is you need at least one pair. And the reason they do that is they know, right? Most people, they'll beat them on the juice. Damn, this play looks solid too. Connor Phillips under 15.5 outs at minus 132. So let me lock in this play as well. Please don't change any of these payouts before I lock my bet in. Come on, come on, come on. The issue with Hot Streak is it's just fucking janky. It's why can't it move faster and load my shit? Oh my God. It's some of these sports books, they don't want your fucking money. It's load. Anyways, we can go here. And then some sports books, once they realize you're sharp, so you can see they already bumped the line down to 2.19. No wonder they didn't want to load. They're trying to bump their odds down. So then I want Jefferson under 7.5 receptions, and I'm just going to hit it. I mean, the sports book, you know, it's just janky. It's a shitty sports book, but there's a lot of good lines on it, so there's a lot of money you can make. Like you can see here, right? It's like, what the hell are they doing with Logan Gilbert's line at plus 121 when all these other sports books are right? Like Caesars has this minus 123. It's like, what are they doing? You know, it's just some shitty company. But regardless, there's money to make, so we'll take advantage of that. So Fliff is another sports book. There aren't that many sports books, right, that are legal in, you know, California or Florida or Texas, but there are a few. And you can see here, right, like this looks solid, right? Over 6.5 first half total runs in the Royals-Astros game. So we can go back here, and what I can actually do is I can show you my whole screen. Right now I'm just sharing a tab, but what I can do is I can just share my whole screen. That should work right there, and we can lock this in on Fliff. So Fliff, you can get it. It's a little Mac app. You can see right here. You can sign up for it though. And all I do is I kind of like bounce around between these fantasy sites, whatever. Then you can head over here, right? You can go to Fliff, and then it's like, okay, let's go to the Royals game, and let's load it up. What's the score? Man, this is just embarrassing. They're just getting embarrassed on national television with the whole world watching. Anyways, what we can do is we can go here. We can go to innings. At least they tried. And we can go to over 6.5 runs, right? Plus 180, right? Price matters. Like a lot of people, you know, like in day trading, obviously if you've tried day trading, like the price you're getting a stock and stuff really matters. It's no different in sports betting, but what's crazy is how fragmented or inefficient the market is. So we can create a little fucking parlay if we want to. And again, like we've gone through the math behind parlays. We have some videos about that. If you just look up like OddsJam parlay math, there's some videos about that type of stuff. But Minnesota versus Northwestern. Point spread, we want the minus 12.5, plus 110. Perfect. Ooh, baby. What else do we like? I mean, any other plays we're in love with, or do we want to go with a 2-pick parlay? Right, this play seems decent. Pat over 3.5. Tyreek Hill over 6.5 receptions. I already bet that at better odds, but you can see like there's some other plays you want to go with, you know, that you have options. Again, this tool, it's not like all it's doing is just pointing out value, the biggest discrepancies first. So I'm going to lock in this play. And here you can see just a 2-pick parlay. If both picks in your parlay are positive EV just means profitable. So if both picks in your parlay have an edge, are profitable, then, you know, your parlay is profitable. So anyways, that's what we got on Fliff. So again, more books, the better. So, ooh, baby. Oh my gosh. So here, this plays, oh wow. Oh baby. Let's go. Jaylen Warren over 2.5 receptions. That play looks incredible. All these plays, a lot of these plays look incredible. So take a look at this play. So we can go here. So you can see I'm already on Jaylen Warren over 2.5 receptions. Still looks incredible at plus 100 odds, but I got it plus 105. And then Tyreek Hill over 6.5 receptions. Looks really good at minus 115. But I got it. Did my parlay already lose with it? Shit. So what I can do is I can go here and I can go here and we can go to the Dolphins game. Damn, the Dolphins are minus 305 favorites. That's crazy. So what we can do is we can go here. Let's make sure this is sharing properly. Yo, what's up, guys? Yeah, it's sharing properly. So if we go here, we go to Tyreek Hill, right? We want to go to receptions, right? Are they going to let me rebet it? Yeah, they're going to let me rebet it. So I hit him over 6.5 receptions, minus 115. Oh my gosh, it looks incredible. All these other sports books, billion-dollar companies, sophisticated bookmakers are pricing it at like, minus 140. But this is the real play. Let's go to Akron, Indiana, right? Hit Chick-fil-A after, get a smoothie. Man, we got a long day ahead. So if we go to first half team total, we got Akron under 6.5. I don't know if they're home or away, but we're about to figure it out. They're definitely home. So we want this. Go. Look at that. These little shitheads. I literally hit my place bet button and they say, oh, the odds or availability has changed. And they come it down to plus 125. I was trying to bet this plus 140. And you can also see it was arbitrage with DraftKings. So again, arbitrage is how I started out sports betting. Really good strategy. You should look into it if you have a lot of sports books available. Whoa. So this play looks pretty good. Calum Wilson, no goal. So if we go to Newcastle, we can check out player goals. Where are player props? They have player shots on target, but they have, player to score a goal. So this guy is a huge favorite, so this is called the Betfair exchange, and it just kind of shows you like, let me actually just go back here and let's change this to Chrome. Nope, don't want to do that. Let's go back here. And we want to change this to window capture, Chrome, just so it looks a little better. And it's like, okay. And then you can see here, right, like this is an exchange. But long story short, Calum Wilson is a heavy, heavy underdog to score a goal. So this play is incredible right here. This play. He is a heavy underdog to score a goal. FanDuel is giving you plus 135 on him to score. Oh my God. So is this play on Isaac, but we want to include that in a different slip. Oh my God, there are bets fucking everywhere. Damn. So we'll include this in a slip. These plays are incredible. Isaac and Calum Wilson, but I assume you don't want to take them both in the same slip since they're on the same team. But again, arbitrage is when, sports books get super out of sync. Like you can see here, the market for Zonovan Knight touchdowns is super out of sync. So arbitrage is when you can bet the over on one book, the under on another book, to make a risk-free profit, right? So what we can do is we can go to, flex play. I think I have, we can take a look here at Zonovan Knight. I mean, there are a lot of plays available, though. So if you take a look here at Zonovan Knight, right, DraftKings has him plus 1,100 to score a TD, right? So what you can do is you can just pull up this little arbitrage calculator, and let's say you bet, $20, $25, $22.50. You can kind of play around with these numbers. $23.50, $24, $23.50. So like 250 is the max bet size allowed on Fliff. So let's just say you hit the under for 250, and this is Knight, no TD. And again, it doesn't seem glamorous, but I mean, placing these bets, and I'll show you, we're going to make a risk-free profit of like, $9.68 in like a minute, right? So we go here, and we have Knight TD. And this is just, you follow the arbitrage calculator. It's when books get super out of sync that you can bet an over on one book and under on another book to make a risk-free profit. So there's two options, right? Homie scores a TD or he doesn't score a TD, right? So if he scores a TD, we win our bet on DraftKings, $23.50 times 11, right? We bet at plus 1,100 odds, so our profit will be $23.50 times 1,100. So we're up $259. On Fliff, we're down $250, right? We're up $9 in profit. And if you're wondering why I won't bet this right in front of you, I don't have access to DraftKings right now. It's not legal in my state, but I will once I have access to DraftKings. Now, if he does score a TD, we lose our $23.50 on DraftKings, but on Flip, we're up $250 times 100 over $750. We're up $33. So in either situation, we make $10 risk-free. That's arbitrage betting. Can you show all your underdog down to Hartman bumped big time. Hot Streak is money. Yeah, Hot Streak is great. Hot Streak has a bunch of plays available. But anyways, it seems like engagement's kind of, this live stream's getting a little slow. Everyone's probably watching the game, enjoying their Saturday, but hopefully, thanks for sticking around, going through some examples of all this different stuff. But what else do we want to look at? Damn. So prize picks, am I even going to be able to bet anything? We can see, because if I'm able to bet something, maybe we'll go through a couple more slips. If not, maybe we wait till later to go on a live stream. Fuck this company. They're not going to let me bet anything more. But anyways, let's go back here. Damn. So Cease and Felton just lost there. Not a great start. I mean, these are 5-pick parlays. We only need to win one. We had a great weekend last weekend, so we'll see how it shakes out. But what else do we want to go with? There's probably some esports plays, but I think I'll call it a day for now. Enjoy the game if you're watching. Oh my gosh, if you're watching Colorado, Oregon, we got some good-looking plays on prize picks. I mean, from the previous few live streams. I mean, we got a lot of good plays on prize picks. We got really good starts in general. I mean, Sanders, obviously, under 335 half looks fucking beautiful. So we got a lot of good starts. So Riley Renner not looking too great. This play, solid start. I mean, we have a lot of solid starts. At least enough. Sanders, under. Jimmy Horn, under. Positive correlation there. Ooh, we got Bobby Okereke. So we got some good starts. But anyways, someone asked to see all the plays currently that we have open. I mean, there's a fair amount. Looking good. But anyways, we'll call it a day for now. I'm going to hit the gym, watch the OSU game, get some Chick-fil-A, get a smoothie. So enjoy the rest of the game.